Coaches, welcome back to this week's PGC Coaches Circle. I'm here with my guys, Micah and Graham, and we're going to talk about roles. I get a ton of emails and questions about roles, and I think the reason I get so many questions is that they're tough, they're hard to figure out. After we talk about roles and defining roles, then you're going to give you the RIP 30 series with Mano Watsa. He's coaching his son's team, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, this could really help coaches. This would really help our team in college right here to be stronger with the basketball, to limit turnovers, and to be better receivers of the basketball, all things that are really key. So you're going to enjoy that in just a minute. But before we get there, we're going to talk about roles. The reason we picked roles is because we get so many questions about roles. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to figure out where does your team, what should their roles be, and how do you carry out those roles. So we're going to give you 4 ways to define the steps to be able to do that. The first one is just that, define the roles. That's not always easy. That takes a lot of time between coaches having conversations, whether it's your coaching staff defining roles or having those with players to come to clarity on here are the roles. But after you've defined the roles, what do you do next, Graham?
Then it's important to understand the roles. I know as a coach, I could think one thing or I could mean one thing, and my players may be thinking the complete opposite of what exactly I'm trying to tell them to do. And so a great way to gain understanding is just to ask questions. Ask leading questions to your players to see exactly what are they thinking, and just gain clarity as a whole so that both of us are on the same page. And as we all know, new teams and every single player, everyone has a different idea on what certain things might be. So it's really important to gain clarity, and the best way to do that is just simply by asking questions.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I thought I was really clear, but just because I stated it and I was clear doesn't mean somebody else understands it. So getting to clarity is really important. And so we define it, then we understand what we're going to do next, Micah.
The third step is you want to accept your role. And this is really, really pivotal for all teams, for coaches and players alike. You might receive a role that you don't necessarily like or enjoy, but it's important that you fill that role to the best of your ability because it's not about you. You got to adopt a we over me mentality because that's what's going to serve the team and turn your culture into a championship level culture. It's going to create an environment where everybody is flourishing. They're in a place where they're going to succeed, and it's going to ultimately allow your team to succeed at the highest levels.
Yeah, and then finally you have to execute. And like Doc Rivers says, you got to star in your role. So it may not be the exact role that you want, but you have to go through the process of accepting it. Like Micah said, and once you've accepted it, then you got to star in it. And if a player or a coach isn't willing to accept it, I don't think you can move forward. I think you have to get to a place where we have clarity and understanding. Now we're ready to accept that role. And so once we get to that place of acceptance, then we have to execute it, and that is really key. I think one of the things that I've seen over time help us to be able to execute on roles is just accountability, constant conversation, constant reminders of saying, hey, this is your role, this is what you have to do. And there's 3 different places that we do that, and it's in our offense, our defense, and in our culture. Defining roles and all of those things I think is really important because if you leave one of those out, if you don't have offensive roles or defensive roles or culture roles, people are just going to do whatever they think is right, and we got to make sure we're all pulling in the same direction. So let's just resurface or recap those real fast. So first we're going to define, then we have to understand, then we have to accept, and finally we have to execute those roles. So coaches, good luck working through those with your staff or with your team to figure out what they are, and then try and get to the place of understanding, which is not always easy, to get to that place. And then finally, the big one is, will they accept their roles? And once they've accepted their roles, you have the right to hold them accountable to execute those roles. Enjoy the RIP 30 with Mano today.
RIP 30, you're going to get a total of 30 different rips of the ball. The first 10 are simple. No dribble. All you're doing is taking the ball and ripping it right across your face from one hand to the other. So a couple important pieces in terms of technique. One is don't bring your hand to the ball. Bring the ball to your hand. So keep the other hand wide. So everyone go ahead and do one of those right now. You got it. So we want to bring the ball to your hand. The second thing is you want to make a loud slap. That's how you know if you're doing it powerfully. If it's this, that's a lot different than that. So make a loud slap, go. And then third, to get more powerful, studies show you'll be 23% more powerful if you exhale when you do any violent motion. That's why in martial arts, they exhale on every punch or every kick. So instead of just doing this, you're going to do this. Ah! So go ahead and get one of those. You got it. So first 10 is going to be very simply one side to the other. Don't bring it low. Don't bring it high. Bring it face high. Face high, right in front of your face. A total of 10 back and forth. Go. in front of your face, in front of your face. So not just side to side, yeah, bring it up. And pause. Think of this as coming from your pocket. So it comes from your pocket, across your face, and back down into your pocket again. So some of you are going all face. I didn't explain well enough. You're going to go low to high to low again. So start off waist to chest, bring it higher, and then back lower. 10, go. Yes. Way to lose it, Liam. Yes. Stand in athletic stance. Good. And pause. Some of you are doing arms locked. Then it becomes ball slow. So just like a big sidewinding punch, this would be slow, and a defender or somebody would back up and not get hit. You want to make it a quick jab. So in other words, keep your arms bent. So instead of this, it's this. So go ahead and take 4 or 5 more. Go. Yes. Better. Yes. And stop. There you go. That's the first 10. This is the RIP 30 series. RIP 30. Next 10, you're going to dribble, rip, dribble, You're getting 10. Now you're adding the dribble and pounding it. Go. Good. And John, bring it right across the face. Remember to bring it right across. Yeah, right across that chin. Now, what's the benefit of this? When do you use this? First of all, it's helpful for passes. So if I'm calling the ball here, I have to block the ball and then trap it in. Many players don't even know how to catch. I've coached college players that in university, they were posting up and the ball would come and it would go through because they hadn't learned how to block and trap. So this is a chance to work on your block and trap. So watch it one more time. I could catch it 2 hands, and I get 2 hands in front of the ball, or I catch it and I block and trap, and you learn to block and trap quickly. Helpful for receiving the ball. Helpful off rebounds. Block, trap, off rebounds. Helpful off penetration, especially against a zone. I split 2 players, block, trap, and I'm right there. Sorry, Zachary. So lots of different uses of it. Really beneficial to work on. So now we've covered 20, 10, 20, and now here's your last 10 on the RIP 30. You're going to take the ball out of basket, and you're going to start with a peek fake. Eyes to the rim, ball to the chin, butt down. You're going to take 1 dribble or 2 dribbles, and you're going to do the rip now off the dribble, just like I did. So peek fake, dribble, and then you're going to fake again and finish. So it's a fake sandwich off that rip with slapping the ball. If you take 2 dribbles, here's what it'll look like. I'm going to go right down the lane. I peek fake, dribble, fake, up, and finish. You're going to get to any basket right now, and you're going to do 10. 5 going to the right, 5 going to the left. Dribble, fake, and a little floater right here. So you'd get 10, 10, and 10. Watch it one more time. 10 of these. 10 of dribble. And then 10 peek fake, dribble with that big rip and jump. Any questions or anything to add, coaches? Oh, yeah, thank you. So this is going to be back breaks. So get low and wide, but it should be a ninja landing. So it's not this. Not a heavy, hard stop. It's a soft, quiet stop. So dribble, pop, and drop that butt down so you're in this position. You're going to get to any basket. You're going to get 5 going to the right. I'll call it the name. You'll call it out and repeat twice. 5 right, 5 left. Shoot either a layup off 2 dribbles or a 1 dribble little floater, but it's a fake sandwich, fake to start, fake to finish. Ready to go? This is your final of the RIP 30. RIP 30!